Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from SameFile502 and says, am I the arsehole for saying that I was hurt that I wasn't invited to a wedding that all my old friends were invited to? I, 28 male, used to have a friend group of about 10 people back when we were in middle and high school. Then college happened and we all drifted apart. Nothing happened to make us drift apart, just growing up and losing contact. Still friends, but not talk all the time and hang out regularly friends, if that makes sense. But of course, some of us stay close friends with each other. One person from this group, Kayla, fake name, 28 female, is getting married in a few weeks. I didn't get an invitation, but I wasn't hurt. I understood. We didn't stay close friends, but then I was hanging out with my best friend, Bob, 28 male, who was also in that friend group, a few days ago, and he mentioned that he's going to the wedding. I was a little surprised, but I just told him I hope he had a good time. He asked if I was going and I told him no, I didn't get an invite. He said that was strange because everyone else from the group was going. 2 of them were plus ones as they were dating or married to other ones who got an invite. But they were all going and Kayla knew it and even told Bob she was really happy that the gang was getting back together on her special day. I told Bob I was kinda hurt by that, but I didn't want to make a big deal of it. 2 days pass. Kayla calls me fuming mad that I was whining that I didn't get an invite to anyone who would listen. I told her that I wasn't. I explained to her what happened. She said that she's been getting texts and calls from other members of the group saying that she should have included me and wanted me to put a stop to it. I said I would do my best and that I was sorry that I caused her this trouble. She thanked me for the apology and hung up. I called Bob and asked him why he spread this around, and he said that he didn't mean to. He felt bad that I was hurt and he wanted to ask someone else from the group if they knew why I wasn't invited. And she spread it around, I guess, and everyone wanted to know why Kayla cut me out, specifically so they started asking her. So I made a Facebook group chat with all of them and politely asked them to leave Kayla alone. I was just hurt in the moment and vented about it to my best friend, and that's where it should have stayed. They all said okay and apologized to Kayla. Yesterday, Kayla made a Facebook post ranting about me without saying my name and said she had to hire security and give them a photo of me to make sure I didn't try to crash the wedding. Something I would never do. The comments under the post were calling her out. She called me again and screamed at me that I was ruining her wedding and told me that some of the friends are considering not going to the wedding now, and now I'm just wondering if I should have just kept my mouth shut or stood up for myself or what. So the next day, OP adds a little edit to the post and says, I woke up to 160 something notifications on this and I'm doing my best to answer the questions and all that. But to answer some frequent questions and points, I'm bi. I have no knowledge of Kayla ever having a crush on me. I don't know if her fiance is gay or bi. I never dated Kayla. I dated someone else from the group back in high school into college, but the relationship ended amicably, and I'm still good friends with her. The only notable event that might have made things weird is that we all went skinny dipping once when we were 16. But nothing else really happened there, and as far as I know, nobody was creeped out or anything by it. There was no big political shift in any of us that may have divided us. Someone asks OP, was she always this unhinged? And OP says, not that I remember. She was a little intense sometimes, but never this kind of crazy. Someone says, why did you apologize? And OP says she was very mad on the phone. I was surprised that she found out about a private conversation I had in my backyard, and I felt bad that the others were asking her why I wasn't invited so much that she felt the need to call me. If I did it again after she made the Facebook post and then called to yell at me again, I probably wouldn't have apologized, but hindsight is 2020. Someone says, is it a race or a sexuality thing? OP says, most of us are white, 2 Asians and a Hispanic person, but Kayla and I are white, so I don't think it's that. There are others in the group that are gay or bi for sure. 3 of them out and 1 that's still in the closet but has told me. I don't know who else they've told though. Someone says, you don't know what your other friends may have said to her. And OP says, you are right. I don't know what they were saying to her. They said they were just asking her why I wasn't invited while the rest of them were, but I just took their word for it. They may have been rude or badgered her, or who knows what else. And you are also right that it's within her right to not invite me. Of course, I didn't mean to stir any drama at all with any of this. I was just sitting outside with my best friend having some drinks, and I admitted I was hurt that everyone but me was invited, and that's all I expected it to be. Just two friends talking. Then this whole thing spiraled into a shitstorm that I didn't intend in my wildest dreams. I mean, to me in this, you can't be the arsehole. You was asked if you were going to the wedding, you simply said no, you wasn't invited. You're not responsible for other people's actions after that. I guess the interesting point is, and hopefully we're going to find out within the update, what's the reason why? What do you think it is at this moment? But Pepper Breaker says, if the recounting of events is accurate, not the arsehole, though I do wonder why she specifically excluded you. In any case, please give Kayla my contact details. With her great attitude and pleasing personality, she would definitely need a divorce lawyer somewhere down the road. Bop do wop says, not the arsehole. You were asked if you were going. You said you weren't invited. Your friend, not you, expressed surprise and told the rest of the group. The rest of the group, not you, reached out to the bride. You apologized to the bride for their actions. You asked them to stop. You've already apologized for something that wasn't your fault. Now she's spinning this into you wanting to crash the wedding. Anyone now decided to not go is making a good call, and you've dodged a bullet. TGAH says, not the arsehole. Did you ever find out why you were excluded in the first place? Because all that drama she's stirring up is because of that. Of course, if you don't invite one person out of the group, it's likely they'll find out. You're completely not the arsehole for being hurt, for talking to your friend. This is all on Kayla. She has the right to not invite you, but this is the expected outcome if there's no obvious reason known to the group. And one more comment from Mr. Intensity who says, not the arsehole. Kayla is not your friend. If she is going as far as telling security not to let you in her wedding, that says everything you need to know about what she thinks about your friendship. You should block her so you don't have to put up with her rants about ruining her wedding. It's her behavior that's making people reconsider going to her wedding, not yours. After your apology, that should have been the end of the rumors, but she's making a much bigger deal about nothing. You should never speak to her again until she gives you a sincere apology. So OP updates the post, and they said, I decided to just do the update here because it's too soon after the post and I didn't want to deal with the mods of Am I the Arsehole being strict about the update posts. Anyway, I finally got the answer to why I wasn't invited to the wedding. Turns out that someone else from the group named Samantha, again fake names all around, has had a crush on me for years but has been too afraid to tell me or act on it. Samantha was in the bridal party of Kayla's wedding and told Kayla that she was finally going to make a move on me at the wedding after all her bridal party duties were taken care of. Kayla didn't like this and thinks that I'm not good enough for Samantha, but she didn't say anything and decided to just not invite me and hoped Samantha dropped it. But when Samantha heard about me not being invited, she could smell the bullshit and confronted Kayla, knowing exactly why I wasn't invited, and she wasn't sure she wanted to be in the bridal party after Kayla would do something like this to her. That's when Kayla called me and flipped out the first time. After the group chat where I asked them to stop, Samantha was so upset that she did drop out of the bridal party, and that prompted the second phone call blow up to me. Samantha called me this afternoon and told me all this, apologized for all the bullshit and asked me out for dinner on the night of the wedding, and I accepted. This might seem petty to go out on the night of the wedding, but it was Samantha's idea, and also Kayla is batshit crazy and her number and social media is blocked, so I can't get any more calls if she blows up a third time. Thanks for the judgment and kind words and reassurance in the Am I the Arsehole post. Small additional update. I posted this to the bottom of my update posts, but someone told me to make its own post, so here you go. Hi, so I haven't checked in this in a few days, little baby updates for you. Nothing big enough for a full update yet. The wedding and my date with Sam is next weekend, so I expect the big update after that. Sam is considering / joking, not sure which, that she's going to wear her bridesmaid's dress to the date because she loves the colour, she's already paid for it, and my tits look fantastic in it. I'm a little worried that's too shoving it in Kayla's face, but Sam says she deserves it. I also asked Sam if she would be willing to write her own point of view here, and she said she would love to, and that she will after our date when we go back to my place. Also, Kayla actually sent me a letter in the mail apologising and asking to unblock her so we can talk about this and heal the loose ends. I didn't unblock her. Sam is completely certain that she's only trying to apologise so that I'll tell the other 4 friends who have dropped out of the wedding to attend it. Like I said, big updates next weekend, and Sam's point of view. So was I reading that right in that she was just trying to block them from getting together, trying to control her friends' relationships, not wanting her to get with OP? It's really strange. I guess the only other thing it can be is that they don't want them getting together at the wedding so the attention doesn't turn to them, if you like. Holy shit, man. And it looks like there is still more to come after the wedding, and it's not going to be the end of this one just yet. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Where do you think it's going to go? Ooh-wee. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. And our next story does come with an update as well. A little bit of office drama which caught my eye from Steelsnapdragon from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit, and says, "Am I the arsehole for embarrassing a lunch thief at work?" Ooh-wee. So pretty much the title. I don't think I'm the a-hole, but I've been getting some flack for it. So I really want to clear this up. I started a new job recently. I work in a small studio, and there are several others in the building. Think open plan office with sections assigned to each studio. The person I had an altercation with doesn't work for my studio, just for your information. I ate lunch at 1 PM-ish, and most people eat at 12. I came down early to eat at 12, I made coffee, and while at the counter, I noticed my Tupperware in the sink. Empty. Imagine my surprise when I turned around and saw a man I didn't know sitting down at the table with my food on his plate. He just stuck it in the microwave, acting rashly since I was mad. I sat down next to him and said, "Hey, that looks good, mind if I try it?" Then, before waiting for an answer, I yanked the plate away from him and snatched his fork out of his hand. He just blinked in shock, as did the other people there, as I started eating. Then he, quite loudly, asked what I thought I was doing. I replied, "Huh? You know this was actually much better when I first cooked it. It probably lost some flavor in the fridge." He caught on quickly that it was my food and went a little red. I then asked him where he got the gall to steal someone else's lunch, and then asked them what they were doing when they took it back. He stuttered out some nonsense about not knowing it was mine, and I replied, "Well, you knew it wasn't yours, right?" He just mumbled something like an apology. I said that's no problem. It was nice he had warmed it up for me at least, in an admittedly bitchy tone. And then he just got up and left, and the people there just stared in silence. Two of the silent watchers, maybe his mates, I don't know, told me I was rude to him, and there had been nicer ways to go about it. I told them to think how they'd feel if someone ate their food before saying they should focus on their lunch and I'll focus on mine. Well, it's been a little awkward at lunch since, and I have the impression a few people are talking shite about me at work now. Maybe I could have been nicer, sure. I still don't think I was wrong, but tell me, Reddit, am I the arsehole? So there was one comment which OP replied to. The comment was, "Unpopular opinion, you're the arsehole. People who steal food for no reason absolutely are arseholes, but you don't know this guy's living situation or financial situation. He should not have stolen your stuff, but publicly humiliating someone who may have had to steal to survive? Nope. I would have pulled him to the side and politely let him know it was my lunch. That way you get your lunch back, don't humiliate him, and don't look like an arsehole for the rest of the office." OP responds saying, "I see where you're coming from, but I don't see this as an acceptable excuse. He doesn't know my financial situation either. I moved recently into a new apartment with a roommate and had to pay 3 times rent the first month, deposit and first month's rent, and my low 3 months probation pay at work just barely covers rent, not considering utilities, groceries, fuel for my car, etc. I've been dipping into savings till I can get better pay, and spent the first month in my place eating on the floor because we had no furniture or spare cash to get some. It's very unfair to put a stranger's financial situation ahead of mine when I cook in bulk to save money, and sometimes eat the same food for lunch all week." As I said, we do have an update to this in just a second. I remember when I had my baguette stole from work once. We used to have like a sandwich van that comes round sort of every lunchtime, and you go out, you buy a sandwich, take it back in, put it in the fridge, whatever you do with it. And I remember being super hungry that day, but I was going to hold off. So I went out in the morning, got my roll. I think it was like a ham cheese one. Pretty standard, but absolutely loved it. Was looking forward to this because it's like crusty bread as well, which I absolutely love. Shoved that mother in the fridge and went about my work duties. I was working in the warehouse at that point. Come out about between 12 and 1 o'clock, go to the fridge, baguette's gone. Totally gone. I can't tell you the disappointment I felt in that moment. And it was just like the insecurity of knowing someone around me, and there was a lot of people, it was like between 80 and 100 in this sort of office/warehouse, not knowing who has taken my lunch. And we never ever did find out. There was other lunch thieves that did get caught out, so maybe it was one of those. Apparently there was one guy that got spotted every time he went to lunch and he went out the office. He would go to the work fridge first and then just walk out the door. People didn't see what he was taking, etc. He was a thief at one point. Don't know if it is the one that stole my baguette, but I did complain to my manager at that point, and an email went around about taking other people's food in the fridge, but that was about it. So I lost a baguette and that was it. It's really pissing me off. I'm getting pissed off now about it. But one fine wire says not the arsehole. I was told when I was hired at my new job by HR that there are people who go through others' lunches and to not put my lunch in a certain fridge. That's why we have mini fridges around the office. I told her the second I find someone going through my lunch bag or eating my food, I will snap, and they said, okay, thanks for the warning. Like, what the fuck? Who steals others' food? I just can't understand. Vegas says not the arsehole. I bet this guy does this all the time, and people know it because it's rude to tell someone off, and he just gets away with it. I got told to calm down by my restaurant supervisor after I paid for a staff meal. Didn't get sent on break by him, saw my food getting cold on the pass, and then had the kitchen hand who knew it was someone's staff meal take it home. Supervisor refunded my money but couldn't understand why I was still pissy. Because I'm effing hungry. Brogling says not the arsehole, and this kind of thing is from what happens at my place of employment and stories I hear on here, and from friends personally, kind of becoming an epidemic. I don't know if it's because these people were coddled too much by their parents when they were young or what, and have major entitlement issues, but it's definitely a thing now amongst the 30s and 40s crowd. My office finally just put a camera in the break room aimed at the fridge door. Problem solved. Never happened again after that. Erected Kirby says, comment sections like this really show Reddit's lack of real world experience, lol. The guy who stole your lunch is an idiot, and you were way more rude than you needed to be over food. Anyone not chronically online can see everyone sucks here. And one more comment from Boxer who says 100% not the arsehole. In what BS world do we have to be ever so polite to thieves to avoid embarrassing them? You didn't throw the food in his face or curse him out. You called him out in a professional manner and he deserved it. I hope he's embarrassed as hell. Your co-workers, minus the thief's friends, probably admire the hell out of you. The OP first adds an edit and says, okay, this blew up. Just wanted to drop an edit on here to say thank you so much for all the comments, support and awards. It's great to know I wasn't completely overreacting. Maybe I should chat with some people and see if the food thief has struck before. We'll update then if you all are interested. Otherwise, additional info. I saw some comments saying I should go to HR, but my studio doesn't have HR and the perp doesn't work for the same place. We do have a de facto office manager, but I don't want to take it any further since I'm new here and on probation / think my reaction might have been enough. An OP's update says, so not sure if anyone wanted an update, but I finally found out from a new friend at work that yes, the lunch thief is struck before. Apparently everyone wrote their names on their lunch to combat this, and then the thief targeted unmarked lunch or lunch items. Guess no one told me. Ha. People apparently started being petty and standoffish to the thief since, and he blames me for that. Lol. Also, according to my new friend, most were actually very pleased that the thief was finally identified and dealt with. I was assured that besides the thief in question and his cronies, no one thought I was being a bitch. However, not knowing much about me, they assumed I was a very serious or cliquey person from my reaction. Which I mean, fair. I dress very professionally when most of the office dresses quite casually. Which probably added to that. Think high heels, blouse and skirt versus shorts, graphic tee and slops. I started to come down to lunch earlier to chat with some people, and the office seems to be warming up to me. So not a drama-filled update, but I'm happy things turned out so well. My reputation with my colleagues is off to a good start. Thanks again for all the comments and support. This will be the final edit / update too. Thanks Reddit. That's a positive update. It might not be drama-filled, but it's a positive update for you, which I am all for. Getting in with your colleagues, getting to know them, going down to meet your colleagues is going to be a great relationship builder, and I hope it continues to move in a positive manner forward. I just can't get what goes through people's heads when they're looking in the fridge and thinking, oh, what can I have today? What's not marked here? And think they're just going to take it, warm it up and start eating it. You know, there's the chance, like that other comment said, the person could be extremely desperate in a dire financial situation, but like OP replied, they don't know OP's situation either. They even went through all their financial struggles currently. But now I'm going to turn it to you guys. Have you ever faced an office thief? Have you ever heard of one around your place? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. Truly, you are amazing. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Yeah, man, I remember being so naive when life was good, weather and palm trees. Back in the day, you were everything I need. But then along came a time when you crushed my dreams. Oh yeah, you played me like a fool when you made me believe that the line between love wasn't thick enough to read. Oh yeah, you see we in the spare crime everywhere. You're selling false hope cause you just don't care. Nah, you just don't care. Nah, you just don't care. You just don't. Still